Greetings farmers, my name is John McRobert from Mukushi Seeds, and I'd like to show you today 5 yield killers. There are many things that can go wrong in a farmer's field, but those that really cause damage are usually related to the farmer's management of the crop. Now this is in no way trying to disparage farmers, it's just the very fact that many times things are difficult. And there are situations where you find it difficult to manage the crop as you would like to. But I would like to highlight these 5 killers of yield. And that'll help you to think through the way you manage your crop and find ways to overcome these yield killers so that you can achieve a good crop that'll be productive and profitable for you. So here are the 5 yield killers. When we talk of yield killers, it's difficult to put them in any priority order. It is really more the accumulation of these 5 things that will really kill yields. But each one of these yield killers are real yield killers, and we need to deal with them as farmers. The first yield killer is probably late planting. Here we have a crop that is planted in late December, right next to a crop that was planted a lot earlier. Now, many trials have been conducted in Zimbabwe to show that for every week that you delay planting from early November, your yield decreases very rapidly. And planting maize into late December or early January will really kill your yield. So wherever possible, try and plant your crop as early as you can. A second yield killer is low plant population. If we look down this row, you can see there are big gaps between the maize plants. And these big gaps are really killing your yield. Ideally, you want to have nicely uniformly spaced maize plants in your field at a plant population or at a spacing that is suitable to your environment. A third yield killer are weeds. When a field is covered with weeds such as this at the early stages, your yield is seriously impacted. The more weeds there are and the earlier they are in your crop, the more damage they will do to your crop. The ideal situation is that your field is clean of weeds right from the very beginning through to the time you have full canopy. A fourth yield killer is poor fertility and poor fertilization, especially in the early stages of a crop. Here we have early nitrogen deficiency symptoms starting to show up. The crop is pale, poorly growing, and will yield much less than what it can do if it was properly fertilized. A fifth yield killer are pests and diseases. I lump these two together because they are controllable if you are scouting and applying the right chemicals. Here we have a young maize plant attacked by fall armyworm. Fall armyworm can be devastating on a crop, especially in the vegetative stages, but even when the crop is grown up and has cobs, the fall armyworm can attack the cobs. Diseases and pests can be controlled. As you can see here, the crop is green, the leaves are clean, and there's no evidence of fall armyworm. These yield killers apply to every crop. Here we have a crop of soybeans where you see many of these yield killers in action. A lot of weeds, a poor plant population. The timing of planting is fine, but this crop will not yield to its potential because of those two things: weeds and poor plant population. The one yield killer that I have not spoken about is drought. Obviously drought is something which will reduce yields, but it's something that we don't have much control over, except if we do conservation tillage. Here's an example of a small plot with conservation tillage where the stover from the previous crop has been left in the field. This stover will help to reduce evaporation of water from the soil and will give the crop a much better chance of achieving its potential. So there you are. I've shown you 5 yield killers and the solutions to them. And I hope that in this season you'll be able to control these killers, kill the killers, and come out with a top productive and profitable crop that'll make you a Magona Marima. Thank you for watching. This is John McRobert from Mukushi Seeds.